Hey guys, it's 77 degrees outside right now, but in 30 days or less, it's going to be October. And when the winter comes and the cold weather comes, tires can lose at least 2 psi for every 10 degrees that the temperature drops. And, just as important, batteries die when it gets cold. Now this car of mine has been sitting here with a dead battery, and I feel like this is a great time to talk about a winter prep item that you can't be without. And that is the Gooloo tire inflator jump starter combo. And I bought this specifically to be prepared for the winter time because I know I've got a dead battery, I'm going to have low tires, and other cars, in my family may have the same. Let's take a look at it, and then we're going to jump start this car and check the tires and inflate them as well. Guys, I think it goes without saying that the time to prepare for a winter emergency, whether that's a dead battery, low tire, or even a flat tire, is now. You got to prepare now while it's warm out, while you're able to collect your thoughts, get the equipment that you need, because you don't want to be out there in a 20-degree day, in a 15-degree day, in the snow, trying to figure out where your jumper cables are and how you're going to start the car, or where your tire inflator is. So I picked this up. This is the Gooloo A3. It's a jump starter and tire inflator combo. Now, I've never had one of these combo units. I've actually always had a separate jump starter and a separate tire inflator. But while going through my car emergency kit, I did recently discover that I'm kind of too full of stuff and I don't have a lot of room. So I wanted to shed some items. So I figured, let me get this combo kit because then I can lose the large tire inflator and I can lose the large jump pack. This comes packaged nicely in a case, and let's just look at the specs real quick. And I'm going to throw this up on the screen, that way you can see it kind of with me. On the back side of the box here, it shows us kind of the operation of the jump starter and then the operation of the air inflator. And go ahead and feel free to pause the video if you want to get a closer look at it. And then on the sides of the box, it just kind of gives you the model number, it gives you the battery capacity, the starting current, the peak current, and then on the other side it shows you basically what it can start. It's got a 3,000 amp peak current. It's good for a 9.0 liter gasoline engine or a 6.5 liter diesel. I do not own a 6.5 liter diesel, but this should be more than sufficient to start my Jeep. So just pulling it out of the package, this is the first time I'm opening it up, and it is pretty convenient because, like I said, I unfortunately have a dead battery. It comes with a pretty nice carrying case, which I like because this is going to fit nicely in the car emergency kit, and it's going to take up less space than all my other dedicated equipment. We've got the adapter here to plug in for the cables for the jump starter. We have the hose for the tire inflator, and then we have the typical USB-A to USB-C cable that seems to come with everything nowadays. And then we have some adapters for Schrader, Presta, ball inflator. I don't plan on using any of this, but it is nice to keep around. Taking the jump starter out of the package, I'm assuming it has come somewhat charged, but we'll take a look at that. Let's turn it on. All right, that's pretty nice. So when you turn it on, it's defaulted to a car for the tire inflator, and you can cycle through. It must have been an SUV. This is a car. This is a bicycle, a basketball. Then it shows you all of them. And a maximum 150 psi. So these are just presets, but whatever car this is, it's preset to 36. If you want to go higher, you can just press up. If you want to go lower, you can press down. The camera may be not showing it totally correctly, but the psi is up here. Also comes with a flashlight, which I really like. I don't generally use flashlights in tire inflators, jump starters, any types of emergency kits. I have a dedicated tire inflator flashlight, that I use. But it is nice to know that it has it. Right here is where you're going to hook up the tire inflator. Over here you've got an output on a USB-A. Then your input is USB-C. And then right over here you would remove this plastic cover, and this is where you would plug in your jumper cables. So let's go bring this over to the vehicle, and before we talk any further, I want to get the car started. Okay, now while I'm getting the hood open, I'm going to connect everything to the battery. I want to explain a little bit why I decided to pick this up. And as I said earlier, what I really wanted was kind of an all-in-one unit, because currently in my car I have a dedicated jump starter, which is in its own package, and it's fairly big. It's made by Hulkman, and I have no issues with it, but it takes up a lot of space. Then I also have I have two dedicated tire inflators, and those are nice and they work very well, but kind of like the problem with the jump starter, it's just taking up a lot of space, and I want to maximize the space in my emergency kit. And the best way to do that is to kind of get an all-in-one The price was right on this. I watched some reviews. It got very good reviews. It was actually rated very highly by Project Farm, and so if you watch that channel, you know he puts this stuff through a lot of tests. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to the battery terminals, and then we're going to see if it'll start the car, and I'm pretty confident that it will, but obviously we will see that together in real time. So we've got the positive connected. Now we've got the negative connected. Let me just move that out of the way. Now I believe that this, yep, so it showed correct, and I think we're going to be good to go. Let me just put this out of the way here, and let's fire the car up. It would help if I brought the key inside the car with me. All right, let's see what happens. And as soon as this hopefully starts, I'm going to disconnect it. All right. That actually worked very well. I'm very pleased. What I'm doing right now is I've just gone ahead and disconnected it, and I'm going to let the car idle for a little bit. That way the battery can recharge, and then we're going to come right back and talk a little bit more, and then we're going to check the tires. Okay, so while the car is idling and I'm letting the battery charge up, I want to show you one feature that seems pretty insignificant, but having owned several tire inflators through the years, this actually means a lot to me, and I'm very happy to see this. When you look at the top here, it shows you the port where you would thread the actual hose into. And most of the tire inflator hoses that I've had through the years, you have to kind of spin the entire hose, or you spin the entire inflator to connect it. This actually has a nice little collar on it, so you can thread it in without having to spin the hose in 100 million different directions, or having to spin the inflator multiple times in different directions. And this is extremely useful just simply for ease of operation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the door panel and see what these tires should be at, and then we're going to connect it to a tire and see where we're at and inflate it for the difference. Okay, just a point of reference here, I'm taking a look at the door jamb, and for those that don't know, if you open the driver's door on any car, you can always see a sticker that's going to show you the correct tire pressure. So this shows me that on my front tires I should have 35 psi, and on the rear I should have 32. Let's go take a look at the tire and see what we actually have. Okay, so I've gone ahead and connected the inflator to the tire. Let's turn it on, and it's going to show us the pressure that we do have and then the pressure that we have it set to. So if we're looking at this, and hopefully you can see it on the camera, we currently have 27 psi in this tire, and it's defaulted to 36. Now the car calls for 35, so I'm just going to lower it 1 psi, and I'm going to hit the center button to start it, and let's see how long it takes to fill up. Okay, so that took less than 1 minute to fill my tire up to 35 psi. Now we did use 1 bar of battery power, but I want to point out that this was not fully charged, and I did not charge it when I took it out of the package, which would be proper procedure to charge this ahead of time. So I like that as soon as it reaches the psi, it turns right off. Let's disconnect this, and then let's pull it over the table and show some other features. Okay, so guys, hopefully you have seen that while it's a beautiful day out right now, this is really the time to prepare for the cold weather that is definitely quickly approaching us. I want to know that I have this device in my car, in its nice included carrying case, fully charged and ready to go. So when I come outside early in the morning and I'm about to head to work and the car doesn't start, or I start the car and the tire indicator says that it's low, I can just pull this right out of the trunk, right out of the emergency kit, inflate it, jump start it, and be well on my way with no issues. Now this does contain a light, and I mentioned this before, and I really don't normally use these lights that are built into inflators or pumps or anything else. But let's just take a look at it. I'm pressing the on button, the light comes on, press it again, it's strobe, press it again, SOS, press it again, and it turns off. That's a nice feature. I probably will never use that, but it's nice to know that it's there. What I will probably use at some point though is the fact that this is a battery bank as well, and I can plug devices in if I need to charge them. Let's just say for whatever reason I'm broken down, or I'm somewhere and I maybe don't have a phone booster pack or a phone charger, but I just have a USB cable somewhere laying around, I can plug that right in and charge my phone right up. I do like that, and I do find that very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the charger, charge this fully up. I'm going to throw it into the, quite nice to be honest, carrying case that is included with it, throw it in the back of the trunk and hope that I don't need it, but know that if I do need it, I've got it and it's standing by. If you could do me a favor, if you can like and subscribe to the channel, what it's going to do is it's going to help the channel and it's going to help other enthusiasts and preppers to get notified about this important piece of equipment, because just like I don't want to be stuck stranded, I don't want anybody else to be stuck stranded. Thanks for watching. Like and leave a comment, and if you have one of these or you have something different that you want to talk about or recommend, share it on the channel. I'll see you on the next one.